Labor Day. On the first Monday of September, people across the country celebrate a wonderful holiday. It is called Labor Day. Schools and offices close. Many people have the day off from work. People have parades and picnics. But what is the fun-filled holiday all about? Labor Day began in New York City. It was started by labor unions. Labor unions help protect workers' rights. In the late 1800s, workers were often treated badly. They had to work 12 to 16 hours each day. Sometimes they did not get meal breaks. They were paid very little. But one worker alone could not change anything, so they joined together to form unions. They held parades and protests. They asked for better working conditions. They wanted shorter workdays and more pay. In New York City, many small groups joined together. They formed the Central Labor Union. In 1882, the group set up a big labor festival. They invited all of New York City's workers. The day would begin with a parade. Workers would march through the streets. Then they would spend the day in a park. On the big day, the leaders worried that no one would show up, but workers slowly began to come. Then more and more came. They came in groups. They brought bands to play music. By the time the parade reached the park, 10,000 workers had joined in. Many kinds of workers went to the festival. They ate and drank. They listened to speeches. That night, they watched fireworks and danced. The festival was a great success. Newspapers called it a Day of the People. It was not yet named Labor Day, but a new holiday was born. Today, Labor Day is celebrated all over the country, and thanks to the labor unions, workers now have many laws to protect them. The laws make sure the workers get fair pay and meal breaks. They do not work too many hours. These laws have made workers' lives better. 1866, National Labor Union founded. 1869, Knights of Labor formed. 1877, railroad workers and coal miners hold protest. 1882, first Labor Day parade held in New York City. 1887, Labor Day becomes official holiday in New York, Oregon, and 3 other states. 1890, Carpenters Union strikes and wins 8-hour workday. 1894, railroad workers go on strike. Number 6. When was the first labor festival held? A. September. B. Monday. C. 1882. D. 1800s. Number 7. How does the first paragraph of the passage affect the presentation of information? Choose 2. A. It helps the reader infer that they will be learning about the history of Labor Day. B. It helps the reader infer that they will be learning about different holidays that people celebrate in September. C. It catches the reader's interest. D. It introduces the topic in a way that is familiar to readers before presenting new information. E. It introduces the workers whose fight for better conditions helped lead to the creation of the holiday Labor Day. 8. Read the paragraph. Many kinds of workers went to the festival. They ate and drank. They listened to speeches. That night, they watched fireworks and danced. The festival was a great success. Newspapers called it a Day of the People. It was not yet named Labor Day, but a new holiday was born. Choose the statement that best explains why the author chose to include this paragraph. A. The author wanted to show why people celebrated. B. The author wanted to show that people enjoy eating and listening to speeches. C. The author wanted to show why Labor Day became a holiday. D. The author wanted to show that people celebrate with fireworks. Number 9. What is the most likely reason the author included a timeline? A. To help the reader keep track of when important events from the text occurred. B. To provide the reader with additional information important to labor unions and worker rights. C. To show the reader the lasting impact of the first Labor Day parade. D. To show the reader that carpenters were inspired by railroad workers and coal miners to go on strike for better working conditions. Number 10. Read the dictionary entry. An organized association of workers formed to protect and further their rights and its interests. Select the underlined word in the paragraph that most closely matches the definition provided. Labor Day began in New York City. It was started by labor unions. Labor unions help protect workers' rights. In the late 1800s, workers were often treated badly. They had to work 12 to 16 hours each day. Sometimes they did not get meal breaks. They were paid very little. But one worker alone could not change anything, so they joined together to form unions. They held parades and protests. They asked for better working conditions. They wanted shorter workdays and more pay.